Looking at what a funeral and somebody dying is all about, I found being realistic about the whole thing probably the best way. Because when people would say, and Peter, as he passed, and I said, yes, he's died, I always used death and dying and died. I never once used that he's passed, because he hadn't passed, he was still there. He hasn't gone anywhere. And so that to me was important. And we could call it a funeral, but I called it a farewell because that's what it was. And all the way through we talked about Peter's farewell, and we had a beautiful card with photographs, just photographs of him, because there was no religious service, no songs, no hymns, and there was a beautiful photograph of him on one side and his dates and his name, and then on the back it talked about his vision. He was a visionary and how he could see what could happen with the place. We built Meadow Lake Lodge out at the back of Milton and had it as a B&B, and he had the vision of turning cow pasture into this wonderful garden and house. And so on the back we had him at the house with the cube, doing some cooking, because he was a great cook, in the garden. So it was just him. Obviously it didn't need to be me because I was still here. So the realism about the whole thing has kept me going. I keep going back to that. I have photographs of Peter around the house, big decent photographs. I have a little shrine with his ashes just inside the front door, where people can see it. If they come in, they can actually see it. And people come and say, is that what we think it is? And I say, absolutely yes it is. And then they're quite comfortable with the whole thing. But I haven't hidden him away, I don't put him in drawers. He's out there. There's some beautiful photographs of him and I, of Peter and myself. So he's there, and I can walk in the house and say, hi Pete. And then I can say, don't look at me like that. And so, and I feel he sits on my shoulder and gives me advice. He says, don't think maybe you should do that. We did go to the crematorium, and that was very private. That was purely family members who are able to stay for it. And then I took some ashes to New Zealand, half the ashes, because we're from New Zealand. And we went to the place where he started his gardening and did fishing, and he loved this place. So we collected flowers from around the garden, leaves and bits and pieces, put them in a big basket, lots of little tiny sherry glasses, a couple of bottles of red wine, and down we went to the stream. And we put his ashes, everybody just a little bit, ashes on the flowers, and down they went the stream out to sea. And that was just perfect. It couldn't have been better, at a better place or a better thing, on flowers, which he just loved to grow, on some veggies, which he loved to grow, and off he went. And one little niece, she said to me, can I please have some of Uncle Peter? I want to put it on the flower. And I said, yes, you can have that, Lydia. And then as she put it into the stream, she said, bye-bye, Uncle Peter. And it was just so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, for a start, you got to talk. You can't bottle it up. Talk about it. Get it off your chest. It's not going to get over in 5 minutes. It could take 3 or 4 years or longer. You're never going to forget. You know, like you're together for 35 years or something. You know, that's 3 life sentences when you look at it. But you know, you got to talk to people. If you bottle it up, you're only just doing your head in. And you sit at home alone and you start. No, it doesn't help you. So you're better off just saying, yeah, look, this is how it works. You know, death's not good, but you know it's going to happen. Like there's only, as bloody Robert Menzies said years ago, you guarantee you're going to get born and you're going to die. And that's how it works. But you must talk.
Over the years, my children have grown up, as I was a funeral director previously, and they grew up knowing what death meant from a very young age they had a bit of a reality check, coming to the funeral home with me on a weekend, having to be there in school holidays, things like that. So for them it's been a reality that it hasn't needed to be thought about. I've talked very openly with them about what happens when I pass away. They know that I want to be cremated. They know, they used to call the coffins cupboards. That's how close they are to it. So, it's real, it's going to happen, and they're comfortable with my decisions and know why I've made them.